Good evening. We'll call together the regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Village of Woodridge and request Clerk Nystrom to please call the roll.
Trustee Kagan.
Present.
Trustee Pittenger.
Present.
Trustee Banks.
Present.
Trustee Beavers.
Present.
Trustee Cunningham.
Present.
Mayor Murphy.
Present.
Quorum is established.
Please stand for a moment of silence and remain standing this evening for a moment of silence. The pledge this evening being led by Trustee Cunningham Pizza.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Under questions from the public this evening, we have no formal public hearing. We do have two opportunities for residents and guests to address the board. The first opportunity is to make comments and raise questions on items that are not related to the agenda, which will be then followed by an opportunity to ask questions or make comments relating to any of the agenda items. So the first opportunity is to raise questions or comments that are not related to any of the agenda items, and if there is anyone that would so like to do so, I would ask that you proceed to the podium and state your name and address for purposes of the public record.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to address you all. 39-year resident of Woodridge, and proudly so. I remember during the administration of Joel Kagan. Joseph Kagan probably carries on that tradition. And I just want to...
May I have your name, sir?
I'm sorry. Randall Kiostri, known as Randy. And there are three
Would
different...
you spell your last name, sir?
C-H-I-O-S-T-R-I. Three different abodes, all within Woodridge. Wouldn't leave it at all.
Thank you.
And I was a fly on the wall this last Tuesday morning because I wanted to observe our fantastic support services, especially Public Works. And I walked into Public Works, and there our magnificent administrator was leading his troops, and Bill was there, and Judy was there, and Jeff was there, and they were just taking calls as rapidly as they could. And then I got back in my car and went down Woodridge Drive, past the general streets. And you look down any general street you want. I mean, Clark and all of them, there's just Public Works with all the little yellow lights going. I mean, he didn't have to say anything. They knew what they were supposed to do. And having been being a retired vice president from a small company called Carson Perry Scott, people knew what they had to do and walk in the footsteps of the leader. That's the whole idea. And hats off to Chris Bethel and his staff. End of comments.
Well, thank you very much for those very appropriate comments, and I echo, I know the trustees and myself in terms of the pride in the department and how they respond to such emergency. Well noted. Thank you very much. Other individuals or guests that would like to address the board on matters that are not on the agenda? If not, then we proceed with an opportunity for residents and guests to ask questions or make comments on matters that are on the agenda. Observing no one, we thank you for being with us, and we proceed to the omnibus vote. The board has for their consideration this evening approval of omnibus vote items A through G and acceptance of H through J. Is there a request from any board member for separate consideration of any of those matters? Hearing none, the chair entertains a motion to approve omnibus vote items A through G and acceptance of H through J. Motion by Trustee Beavers, second by Trustee Kagan, to approve the omnibus vote as presented. Final questions or discussion?
Would you like me to read that information?
I'm sorry, I neglected to have the village administrator give us a brief summary of those omnibus vote items for residents and guests and those that may be viewing this meeting. Mrs. Rush.
Thank you. All items on the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There are no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests. The first item is a resolution R 41-2011, which is appointing a representative and an alternate representative to the Board of Directors of the Intergovernmental Risk Management Agency, also known as IRMA. IRMA is a risk-sharing pool of 73 local municipalities and special service districts in northeastern Illinois, which have joined together to manage and fund their property, casualty, and workers' compensation claims. With the resignation of the current management analyst, Woodridge must name a new delegate and alternate to serve on the Board of Directors. Item B, ordinance number 2011-30, is designating depositories of funds and money of the Village of Woodridge, DuPage, Will, and Cook Counties, Illinois. Per village code, the village from time to time is required to approve banking institutions as depositories. Item C, resolution number 42-2011, authorizing the mayor and village clerk to execute a certain consent to an assignment and assumption agreement, Park 355. Similarly, item D is a similar action for Maple Point, and item E is a similar action for Bridgepoint. These areas are being sold to a new entity, IIT Woodridge. They will continue to be maintained locally by Bridge Development and HSA. The purchaser has requested that the village consent to this assignment and assumption agreement, which transfers and assigns existing agreements related to the developments to IIT Woodridge. Item F grants a minor amendment to the final planned unit development plan and plat for Woodgrove Festival Shopping Center, 5 Below, 1001 West 75th Street. 5 Below, which is a retail outlet, requested to make facade improvements to their tenant space in Woodgrove Festival Shopping Center, including a new front facade, canopy, and signage. In 2010, the village board amended the village code to allow staff the ability to approve these amendment requests prior to village board consideration. The staff approval was granted on May 19th, and work is underway. Item G is a liquor license fee waiver for the Woodridge Chamber of Commerce Appreciation Picnic, which occurred on June 15th. H and I are minutes, and item J is accounts payables registers.
Thank you for that overview, Ms. Rush. Are there any final questions or discussion from members of the Board of Trustees? Okay, hearing none then, Clerk Nystrom, please call the roll.
Trustee Pittenger?
Aye.
Trustee Banks?
Aye.
Trustee Beavers?
Aye.
Trustee Cunningham?
Aye.
Trustee Kagan?
Aye.
Motion is approved.
We have no communications or correspondence. Under my report, on behalf of the board, I would like to recognize and applaud Dan McIntyre from the Woodridge Police Department for the recent golf outing that he provided the leadership for, which benefits Special Olympics of Illinois and Illinois concerns of police survivors. So please convey to him, and I know other members of the department were also involved in promoting that event. So please convey to them our appreciation and congratulations. I would also note for the record, as we briefly mentioned at our last meeting, that this evening is the last meeting for management analyst Melissa Bolsey, who has accepted a promotional opportunity in her country of origin, in Wisconsin. And just very briefly, some words that come to my mind when I think of Melissa: personable, certainly, intelligent, common sense always prevails. Melissa is a people person, not only with our residents, but everyone else she deals with, the business community, fellow staff persons. She's a people person, she's creative, significantly high work ethic. It's not unusual to see her here above and beyond the normal hours of responsibility, not just during the week, but on weekends, and involved in the community in different events, particularly a number of our diversity events that she played a leadership role in, many of which are at night and on weekends. She was always present for them. She also has a great sense of humor, which everyone enjoyed, and equally a great listener to anyone at any time, and certainly an idea person. And you know, the mayor just couldn't resist also saying that she is a fan of the Green Bay Packers. So we bid you much success, which we know will come, and thank you for everything you did for Woodridge. Village Administrators Report, Ms. Rush.
I have no items, thank you.
We have no active agenda items this evening. Is there any unfinished or new business to come before the board this evening? Hearing none, the chair entertains a motion to adjourn by trustee Cunningham Pizek, second by trustee Pittenger. All in favor indicate by the sign aye. Opposed, motion is approved. We are adjourned.
Thank you.